Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for picking us out of the other presentations. Please, hope you stay. So it was a light lunch with not too many carbs, but we'd just like to do something because we're feeling kind of special at the moment. And we'd like to take a selfie like the Oscars, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and do this here.
Yeah.
And we want you all to maybe get up and come in.
Yeah.
Feel some love for Talent Connect
we want you
and
to
for
move,
us.
please.
Okay. David's come all the way from Turkey to do this. Okay. So we're going to do it.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna do one. Okay. I'll try and get it up there. There we go. We'll do one normal one. And now I want everyone to wave and do something fun and shout and scream and yay, come on. Cool.
Thank you,
everyone. Oh, we're the right way around. Excellent. Thank you. That's for our kids, really. So, I'm Charles Hardy. I work at LinkedIn, and I head up our engagement with education and students.
And I'm Devrim. I'm the HR director of Asselsan. And I'm very happy to be with you with this wonderful city. And let's start.
Let's start. Okay, so I have a really, really exciting job. And what I do is I pretty much tour around talking to universities, to students, to employers, all around how to use LinkedIn. Lots of different audiences, and it's tremendously exciting and tremendously challenging as well, considering the number of institutions I go and see in different countries with different educational systems, different economies, and different ways of doing things. And the first thing I'm going to do is pick up the clicker that I forgot. Today, we're going to talk what we're calling dancing with talent. So for all those who are looking at the agenda for today and going, this isn't what is in the agenda, please bear with us because we're going to hopefully bring it all together by the end. You will have seen in the keynote and probably in one or two other presentations, there's reference to the economic graph. How we're trying to map our members and the companies they work at, the jobs at those companies, and the skills you need to be successful within those jobs, and the universities or the educational institutions that provide you with the skills and competencies to be successful at those jobs. LinkedIn is trying to map all these and provide an environment that brings it all together. It's a big vision. And we're well on the road to that. But with Devrim's going to talk a bit more about how that happens in reality. LinkedIn is providing an environment to bring it together. And for this analogy of dancing with talent, I'd like you to think of it as the dance floor. A kind of groovy digital dance floor where employers, university students all come together. And we really have students at the heart of it. You might have heard how, for LinkedIn, members first. And for many students, they might even be under 18, they might be minors, but it very much is putting the students and their future and their potential at the heart of this. And it could be helping them around their career, their identity in a professional world, because though they're digitally savvy and they're on various social media, from Snapchat to WhatsApp to whatever the latest one is, international signal for a phone, they're not necessarily savvy in a professional way on how to deal with employers or jobs through digital media. It's not quite the same as sharing pictures from a beach or a bar. So understanding the skills that go together with that and building a community around them that's going to help them. Now, with students at the heart of it, we very much want to bring universities to play. We're working with universities on how they engage the prospective students, how they work with their current students to help them get employed. And more universities are becoming accountable for what happens to their graduates. And parents want to know, I'm about to spend £30,000, €50,000 on an education, well, what's the output here? What's going to happen? So universities became more and more interested in what's happening in terms of that employability ratio. And we can really help with that. And that ties into the alumni relations piece, the value of engaging with your students long after they've gone, for various reasons, from fundraising to mentorships to internships. On the other side, which I guess would constitute much of this audience, are the employers. And working with employers on LinkedIn, obviously, to find talent. How can we make that better and more efficient? LinkedIn is all around connecting people with the right people at the right time. So how does that work in this environment? Well, the more data we have on the students or the recent graduates, then the easier it is to target them specifically with the right messages that resonate with them. But there are other influences that we have at this party. Alumni, parents. Even parents are on LinkedIn, and teachers. And for some of these big decisions, the parents and teachers are making a big influence on what students, whether pre-university or post-university, are doing. And it's a very topical debate on whether the advice they're getting from these audiences is relevant, is up to date, and is helpful. So through all this, we're trying to provide an environment which provides data and insight to help people make informed decisions. And for students, this is all the way through what we might call an educational life cycle. So we just launched some new tools which help students choose a university or choose whether to go to university. So under linkedin.com/edu, you could see these tools. There's a university finder, and you can put in what kind of job you want to get to, or which companies you fancy working for. Put in geography. And it starts recommending universities based on, well, what have other people done who've done this? So more people have gone on to do the career you're interested in with this course from these select universities. So we're trying to help people make informed decisions. Do people remember how you chose a university? There's some very young people here, I see, so you probably remember. I chose a university based on a girl. So it's a long time ago, so I can talk about it now. But it was not the best way of choosing, but I didn't have any other basis to go on, really. And I chose that university, and hey, you can look at my profile and see which university it is. But I chose that university not on a robust data, career, or any kind of insight. It was a very emotional choice at the time. And lo and behold, that girl didn't go to the university. I did, and she didn't. But it's okay, because I did meet my wife there at the university. There was no overlap, by the way. And we're trying to provide more informed decision-making, to take the data that we have, that you could take a university, like my university, where there are 50,000, 60,000 alumni on LinkedIn, and you can say, all right, all the people who did this went here in this career path. And we can take that data and inform the next generation on the best chance of success. Similarly, for the students, whether we're providing information to help them be successful in their research, and they're writing their dissertation and networking, whether we're helping them gain an internship or a placement program, which is becoming more and more important, and selling themselves into that, whether it's around choosing to do postgraduate study, or, of course, when they're going for the job. And when they're going for the job, it's obvious that it's a good thing to have a really good LinkedIn profile. Or how do you get found on LinkedIn? How do you research employers? So all this with the current students gaining employment. Of course, there's a fast track here. You could fast track Miss University. You could be doing apprenticeships or other things. It's not the be-all and end-all. And in that scenario, how do you have a profile? How do you leverage or build and leverage a network of contacts? So working with students to understand how they can do that and how they can use LinkedIn to be more successful. And there's two kind of elements to this. One is a bit like the school I was in, choosing a direction. I have no idea what I want to do. Somehow I've ended up studying here, studying geography. Who studied geography? A few people here. And yet here you are at a recruitment conference. Actually, geography is probably relevant to everything, isn't it? Somehow or other. There'll be a complete diverse range of degrees. People have so much flexibility despite what they study. How do you choose what to do? Well, we can help inform a direction. And then maybe you know what you want to do. You want to do this job. Well, we can help people understand, well, how do I get there? What are the stepping stones? What did other people do to get to that great job or that great company? And maybe even get in touch with them. So in terms of LinkedIn, this is our fastest growing demographic. We have over 40 million students and recent grads. And we put those together because, damn it, if they don't keep graduating each year and our numbers go down and up and round. So we put those together and we include recent graduates of the last 3 years in that bucket. But it's the fastest growing, and this number, to be honest, is out of date. They're also the most engaged because many of them are, we're in a recruitment world here, active job seekers. They're not the passive ones, they're the active ones. They want to get a job. They feel the squeeze on the job market. They're continually told that they have the wrong skills and there's no jobs. So they want to market themselves, they want to connect to employers. And more talking to them, they want to do it through a professional environment. And even if you are marketing successfully on other social media, I heard on a panel at the AgCast conference recently, which is the conference for career services at Warwick, and we had a panel of students, and they were talking about having 2 Facebook profiles because they wanted one for their friends, family, and photos from the pub, and another one with a slightly different name for engaging with brands. That was their non-social identity, and they were finding it quite a challenge. They felt compelled to engage on these platforms because they didn't want to miss an opportunity that might arise, but at the same time they wanted to keep their private lives separate. And I identify with that, even though I'm good old Generation X, way beyond all these millennials coming through. From a LinkedIn perspective, how are we driving this growth and this engagement with students? Well, largely it started off organically, and you won't see LinkedIn advertising all over the place and sponsoring things. It's not the LinkedIn way. That said, we are doing some direct-to-student engagement across several countries where we've looked to market the opportunity to drive the awareness of what LinkedIn can offer. We're also doing this through universities. This takes up a lot of my role, to engage with the universities and to help them leverage the tools that we have. And we provide a lot of resources and energy into training them up so they can run LinkedIn sessions, and they run clinics and workshops for students, how to have a good profile, how to leverage it, how to research using LinkedIn to find opportunities or look at companies. And through employers. Employers go on campus and talk to students about all sorts of things. And that could be running skills sessions, or it could be through career fairs, milk round events, as we used to call them. And so we want our employers, our partners who are using LinkedIn and using our tools to be our ambassadors too, and share with the students the value of a profile. Because if all the students are joining LinkedIn, then that helps the students. It helps the universities understand what's happening with their graduates, but it also helps employers who are looking to source talent. And the tool set that we have on LinkedIn that you may already be using for professional talent is very relevant for this too, because you can source, you can search by university, you can search by course, field of study, year of graduation, and all the other skills and keywords that you have. You can do targeted marketing to this audience. You can engage them. So it's working with you as our partners as well to engage this audience and help them become more aware of the opportunities. And in terms of targeting this audience, our brand is important too. And LinkedIn is not just Facebook for old people, which is what we were getting when we first started on this journey and we did some focus groups. LinkedIn for old people, for grown-ups. And so we need to move that perception on. We need to drive awareness of what LinkedIn is valuable. It's not just when I've got a job, 2 or 3 years down the line. It's valuable now. Your education is part of your career. It's part of your professional identity. So how does that work?
If you're a student, chances are you're going to be looking for a job, and you're probably a little bit nervous about where to start, or if there's even any jobs out there. So, if you're done eating out in all the best places all the time and you want to make it in life, good news, you're in the right place. LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives or old people with big moustaches. It's for you, the next generation, young people with moustaches. It's the perfect place to start your professional story. Let's say you want to get a job in London, but you've never been there. It's okay, because you've got LinkedIn on your side. You start creating your profile. You give it love, because you know that's what recruiters are looking for day and night. It's your CV that never sleeps. You get your profile tight. Then you start connecting. Other graduates in London? Yes. Recruiters of top companies in London? Yes. Your mum's crazy friend? I guess. You start imagining whose shoes you want to walk in, and you think, whoa, that's a lot of deep stuff to consider. You shake yourself off and you start searching for jobs, and you see there's actually loads of jobs for students. It's time to get down to business. You start tailoring your profile, applying, connecting, learning. You feel empowered, like you should be the boss. Then it hits you. You look up all the CEOs of the companies you like, and you see one of them that went to your university. And guess what? He knows your mum's crazy friend. You start connecting to all the experts and getting the best advice. Suddenly you see a clear path from graduation to incorporation, some adulation, and eventually some serious relaxation. You feel like you can see the future. You keep applying, and before you know it, you start getting responses. First a few, then more, and then an interview. A few clicks and you're face to face with the big guys. When you get the job, that's when the learning really begins. LinkedIn, your career starts here. Have a look at all the other tips to get you moving on your professional journey.
So I just wanted to share that because it's important for you to understand how we're engaging with that audience. And as I say, both directly and through the universities and the faculties, to help them understand that LinkedIn is not so detached from what they need to do. So in terms of that engagement, well, pretty much all universities in the UK and then growing across other countries specifically that are running profile clinics on how to use LinkedIn, replacing the old how to write a CV, and the value of identity, network, and knowledge. As we saw through that video, having a good, strong profile that will be found, networking and the value of your connections, even if you don't know they're valuable, they might be valuable, and then knowledge and researching employers, researching jobs and how people have got into jobs. All those pieces coming together. And we even have some universities who are taking this right to a mandatory part of their employability program because it's valuable for the university too. I just want to show you a little bit around the data. And I'm resisting saying big data, but it's pretty big. And we have all this information. So you see we have the 332 million members globally, continuing to grow, 2 members per second, and a large proportion of them will enter the education details, of course. And this is what drives a lot of what we're offering to the students, these insights based on what people have done. And this data is readily available to anyone on LinkedIn. You do not need any special premium license. You do not need to be any special job seeker or admin license. So we're going to go and have a look at the Middle East Technical University. Why? It will become apparent a little bit later. But the Middle East Technical University out in Turkey, and they have a university page. So we've created an entity, a bit like you probably have company pages and career pages. Well, universities now have university pages. And on there, we have both a wealth of data and the ability to brand. And the two overlap significantly, data and brand. So they're able to add imagery and videos, and a video of Freshers Week might be very attractive to students who are in their final year at school choosing where to go. It could be content around alumni events. It could be information on a careers fair at the university. So thinking of those different audiences of pre, current, and post-student, this platform talks to all of them, branding the university, but also providing the data. So for Middle East Technical University, they have 53,000 students and alumni on LinkedIn. All students and alumni of this institution are automatically followed to the entity on LinkedIn. So without getting too geeky on it, if someone joins LinkedIn today as a current student, and I am studying at this university, or if I join LinkedIn or update my profile, and I graduated 10 years ago from this university, I'm added into the data set, and I'm also added into the community so the university can push communications to that audience. So I imagine a lot of people here have got their education on their profile. You will have been attached to that university, or maybe even multiple universities if you're cleverer than me, and you could possibly be receiving updates from that university, and you would be in the data set for that university as well. And if you haven't gone to look, go and have a look, because it's fascinating. Because here we are, this is on the site. You can go and look at any university, and what you can see for these 53,000 just for Middle East Technical, where they live. So you can imagine a student or a career service person or even a parent dissecting this information. We can filter by where they live, where they work, the current employer, what they do, so the industry or the specialism that they're in. And if we scroll to the right, we can see what they studied. So what was the course that they did when they were at the university? What they're skilled at, so the skills that they've listed on their profile, how you're connected to them individually. So we're always talking about, do you have some connection? As they were talking about this morning, no cold calling if you can avoid it. So if you have someone who will introduce you, then it's great. And the dates that they attended, so we might be looking at recent dates or wider dates, but we can filter on attendance or graduation year. We can use keywords if we have some specific term or skill we want to search on. And as I say, we can do this for any school. And Americans seem to call universities schools. It's very confusing. We put up with them. It's okay. But mainly, we mean you can search on any university. So this is tremendous data. And it's live data. Okay, this isn't a shut database. If someone who went to this university changed jobs between me taking this screenshot and today, the data's changed and will automatically update itself. That's the big USP. So, for example, here we have, I filtered this. I clicked on electrical and electronic engineering, and immediately the information filters just to that 4,107 students and graduates from this university who studied that. And I can immediately see the skills that they've got there: MATLAB, C++, C. So that's given me some indication. But if I flick back over to where they work, so now I can see where all the graduates who studied electronics at Middle East Technical have gone. I have a list of employers by number. And it's not by chance that Asselsan are at the top. And you're going to hear more about that story very soon. But as a student, if I'm trying to decide, we talked about what direction to take. I might not have known where to go. Well, now I have a list of companies to research further. This could be enough for me. This could be enough. I can go now and do my research and decide and start to shortlist where I want to take my career. Or I might want to go a bit further, because I can continue to use all the filters to say, I'm interested in staying in Ankara. I'm interested in Asselsan. And I would like to really look at just IT. That's where my specialist passion is. So now we're suddenly down to 12. These people are out there. Well, the student can just scroll down the page, and here they are. So now they can see these people they have all these things in common with, who studied at their university, who've gone to work at this company they aspire to work at, who did their course, who are doing IT, who have the jobs that they want. And you'll see a couple of them haven't got their photo. You know, it's all down to personal preferences. They're not sharing their photo with everyone. They've set their settings, as you or I might, to only say connections or something like that. But many of them have the photos, so we're starting to feel an engagement. And we can go even further here with Senna, sorry.
I was waiting for this moment. It's Şener Yılmaz.
I always pick the ones with the hardest names. Şener Yılmaz. So there's Şener. He's famous. He has no idea he's famous at this particular moment. And getting more views on it. Who's viewed my profile? It could be interesting. If anyone fancies doing that, it'd be fascinating to see. So Şener here, even though I'm not connected to him as a student, I get a view of his career. I get a preview. I haven't clicked into his profile. I'm given a preview. I can see where he studied, and I can see his career path. And you can do this for any of these people, whether they have a photo or not. So what does it do? It could be that he's still an anchor. I could actually get in touch with him and ask him and say, you went to my university, you studied this, you're doing this, it's really great. Maybe you could give me some insights. Maybe we could have a coffee. Maybe you could help me get an internship. There's all sorts of conversations there. But it's trying to connect those students who are looking at their potential with the alumni. And alumni are warm. You know, you feel a warm connection to your university and helping people coming through. But the big message for you here as well as you have access to this data and can research it, and use the data to even research your competitors, of course, and where they're hiring from. It's a cliche, yeah? But it comes back to what Brendan was talking about this morning. It's a theme. Your employees are your brand ambassadors. Let me go back to that slide. I'm looking at employees from Davram's company here. I could have filtered by all sorts of things, but I'm looking at specific employees. They might not necessarily know at this precise moment that they're brand ambassadors, but they are. Straight from the photo to the content of the career, and if I go deeper into their profile, they really are, and we're really pushing this. We're pushing this with students. So the flip side is, how do you look from this angle? So whereas those alumni are brand ambassadors of their university, now they're brand ambassadors for Asselsan. So are they doing a good job? Even just on that shallow level. So let me go a bit more into what are students, millennials, actually doing on LinkedIn. How do they use the platform? And it might be slightly surprising that just searching for jobs is not number one. On our research, 15% are actively searching for jobs. And that'll go up and down at different times of year, of course. But it's not just what they're doing. They're not just pumping out job searches. They are growing a network. And more understanding the fact that opportunities are tied to people, and the fact that opportunities aren't necessarily where you expect them. So how do they engage with people? And they're researching companies and jobs and careers because they can do what we just did. They can look at a particular company, they can search on different career titles and keywords and find people who are doing certain jobs at the companies they're interested in. And they're consuming content. And I'm sure you've been in presentations over the last couple of days around the value of content. Content is king. So what is your value proposition to them? Do you have a value proposition on LinkedIn? If they look at your company or career page, do you have some proposition? Do you have a call to action? Do you showcase anything around your employees that they would identify with? I'm not here to go through a whole plan on how you can do that. What we have provided are brand new, shiny playbooks that you will have found on the chairs when you came in, and provide a lot of information and guidance. Some you'll know, some you might not know, around how to engage this audience. You know, what kind of content resonates with them? Do you know? Do you know what it is? How do you measure that? Are you looking at the interaction with your updates through Twitter and through other social platforms? What really resonates with them? You know, here we took a snapshot not too long ago of what content UK students were digesting and the key words around it. You know, very topical. European Union is very topical for the UK at the moment. And you know, they're not necessarily digesting what you expect they are. So how do you get closer to that? And then, what are student members looking for in a job? We've done research on that. Do you know what it is that they're looking for? And then do you tailor that content and that messaging to make sure that you do resonate with them, that you're hitting that nerve? Now, for European students, challenging work came number one. Now, as a student, I don't remember thinking challenging work was number one, but what it's demonstrating is a slight variation in geographical tendencies, because for UK students, challenging work is not number one. It's good work-life balance, yeah, which is actually a little closer to experienced people's perceptions. I've just used European and UK, and we can dissect this by different countries. But it's not just different from what the experienced professional people you're engaging are looking for in different age demographics. It varies by country. There's no one size fits all. So, end of part one. I've gone on too long. I'm going to hand over to my colleague, David.
Okay. And hello, everyone. I'm so excited, and I think I need to hear the sound of inspiration, as L'Oreal expressed. When I get up on the stage and I say hello, I want to hear, hi, Devrim. So let's try again. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this afternoon. I'm delighted to be here in front of you. Because my company's Asselsan's first priority is talent, and today I'm going to share our study, our story, and how we are ranked by the university students as ideal employer of the year in engineering field. And first, I want to introduce myself. I believe the biggest achievement in my life is having such a nice family. The most important role in my life is being the mom of Arya and Aran. And I have been working for 17 years, majority of the time spent in Asselsan, in HR field. If you ask why Asselsan, I believe it's one of the best ways serving for my beautiful country. And during this time, I have never stopped educating myself. I had 3 master's degrees. One is MBA, and the other is Master of Arts in Human Resources, and the other one is Master of Sciences in International Management. And I believe the greatest success at work is having happy employees. Especially millennials really value this, being happy in the workplace. I want to introduce you my team. This is Asselsan's HR team. I took that picture because I love to see them laughing all the time. And you know what? They tell me that there is a strong relationship between happiness and the high performance. And with the help of LinkedIn, I have over 14 million professionals in my network. Maybe you have much more than me. But did you know that if everyone in my professional network held hands, it will enough to go around the world twice? Yeah, that's why I believe the power of network. And there is only one word that really inspires me. It's transformation. And today we will talk about the transformation of our recruitment processes in Asselsan. I'm sorry. So, okay. And let's talk about Asselsan. Asselsan is a world brand in defense industry. Our vision is to be one of the companies within top 50 countries in the world. We are in a good path to achieve this goal. Last year we were ranked as 76, and this year we are ranked in 67 with a 1 billion defense revenue. Deloitte Big Star Fast 50, which determines the fastest growing technologies, ranked as #1. We really value research and development. And we are a very big family, and we have over 5,000 employees. Majority of them are engineers, electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and computer science are the top ones. And 62% of our employees have an advanced degree, master's or PhD. We value education during working. And we are very young. Our mean age is 34. And I believe one of the most important things from HR perspective is we have 3 generations working together, which combine the 2 best of worlds, expertise, drive, and have energy to learn the new things and create new things. And our story started 3 years ago. When I was promoted as head of HR, we assessed our position in the market. And we saw that our average time to fill position was 85 days, which was very high when we compare with our competitors. And due to long recruitment processes, our cost per hire was very high. And our turnover rate was over 5%, which means our employees were leaving us. And I cannot say that we were popular on social media because 3 years ago we had only 1,700 followers on LinkedIn. And the university students, our talents, our potential talents, ranked us as 52 in Bloomberg Business Week most popular companies. And we realized that we are not a popular company, we are just a company. And we decided to change this. But at the beginning, we just, to understand the real needs and issues, we made surveys with everyone. With the surveys, students, we asked them what we are doing wrong. And we understand what we are doing wrong from their perspective. And we surveyed with the interviews and tried to understand their interview experience because we believe reinforcement talent starts in the interview process. And we employed with the surveys and we saw that they want to become a part of our recruitment strategy, and they gave very valuable feedbacks related to problems of onboarding system. And we made brainstorming with the managers. We saw them. Sometimes we are unable to find the right talent or right skill. And of course, we use some of the HR metrics like turnover rate, time to fill positions, or manager satisfaction with the new hires, or etc. And we decided to transform our recruitment strategy, and we call it Dancing with Talent. Maybe you are curious about the relationship between dancing and talent. I believe it has a strong relationship because finding the right talent is like finding the right dance partner. And in partner dance, you have to get the right moves. Even if you want to make salsa or tango, you have to find the right moves and find the right dance partner for you. And when you find the partner, you have to convince him or her, and you have to lead the dance. So let's talk about the right moves first. Sometimes it's better to see the wrong moves to understand what are the right ones. And let's watch our video and see what kind of a dancer we were 3 years ago.
All right then, mate. Well, let's, show us your moves.
Nah, there's no beat, is there?
Go on.
You can't. You have music and everything. Well, let's. Well, as it's for charity, just a little bit. So, and that's
Playing, Dave.
yeah. Wow.
Just imagine that we are in a school-organized career fair. There are students everywhere, and this guy is the employer. We were that guy. So, on the understanding and acting phase, we try to understand our real business and our talent needs. One size doesn't fit all, and our target talent is engineering students. We try to understand their expectations, and we saw them. They want to be happy at the work. They want freedom. That's why we introduced flexible working hours, and we increased our paid leave to 34 hours in a year. They can use it anytime they want without giving any reason for their absence. And we built social facilities, and we have fitness center. There are lots of social areas right now in Asselsan, so our employees can connect anytime they want. So these became our unique selling points. Then we succeeded to attract the attention of engineering students because they start to follow us. And we created a model, and we called it Asselsan Talent Acquisition Model. It has 3 dimensions, but let me share our findings, what inspired us to create this model. We understood that we need to design programs that meets both Asselsan's and students' needs, because Y generation wants to make a rehearsal before they come to the stage. That's why we developed engineering intern program. And students are bored from the career fairs. They want coaching from the professionals. And we started a career coaching program. And on the third side, sometimes we cannot find the right skill. You know what? In 3 billion, we cannot find even one. So we we started to support academic people, and we decided to create our own talent, our own partner. And for the priority actions, with the help of surveys, we saw that we have to introduce competency-based interviews, and we trained our managers for their interviewing skills. We introduced employee referral program. With the help of this, our employees became the part of recruitment process. They became our recruitment ambassadors. And we developed our onboarding program, because this is the best time that the candidates, our new employees, fits our cultures and values. And we reorganize working conditions like flexible hour and social areas. And also we organize training sessions for everyone how to understand the other generation. And we started to use LinkedIn Recruiter to find the skills. And finally, we started to use company page to share our news about Asselsan. And finding the right dance partner. At the beginning, when we started, we wasn't sure about where to look. So we decided to use the LinkedIn University pages. I want you to show two filters here. We were searching for electrical and electronics engineering in Turkey, who is skilled at MATLAB. So you see here 1,004, nearly 400 students, and they are mainly having their education in Middle East Technical University. This university has a really distinguished engineering education program, and it's ranked in one of the top 100 universities in world reputation ranking. So we decided to partner with Middle East Technical University. And with the help of the last filter, you see there are nearly 900 talents skilled at MATLAB. So we value on-campus engagement. When we find these talents, we connected with them, and we meet them in the campus. And at this point, our alumni, our employees, became our talent brand ambassadors, and they really helped us. Okay, we find the right talent, but we have too many companies serving from the defense industry in Turkey. We have to convince them. The Y generation doesn't know about their future, and they don't want to decide right away. It's very natural. So we have them on our facilities to experience Asselsan. This program name is Engineering Intern Program. Now we are inviting academically successful engineering students to Asselsan. They are working 12 hours in a week and for part-time, and this program lasts for 6 months. We are arranging transportation between work and between Asselsan and the university, so it became very convenient for them to come to work. And the university was providing limited health insurance coverage. We provided a decent compensation and the limitless health insurance coverage. So this really helped us to convince these talents to work for Asselsan. And at the end of the process, we had the chance to meet each other. They saw us, they have the chance on the job training, and we have observed them on the job. And at the end of this period, we guaranteed hiring the top performance. Within the last 3 years, we hired 95% of them, which is 92 talents, without any significant effort. And career coaching program. Our next step was connecting with the talents outside of the common boundaries. We saw that they don't have higher expectations from the school organized career days. They want connection. They want to talk with us. They want to learn how does it sound to work at Asselsan. So we helped in the first step, we helped to create their own brand. We organized workshops and tell them and try to teach them how to create their brand in social media. We help them to improve their profile in LinkedIn, in Facebook or Twitter. And we help them to create a business card. You know, generally all of us having our business cards after we graduate, but I don't believe this. The right time is maybe while we were students. And also, we help them to create their own QR codes. Now, students are giving their business cards with the QR codes on it. They are not giving their resumes from now on. And we use personality tests, and we are interviewing with the students, even if they want to Asselsan or not. Because we try to help them to find the right job which fits their skills. You know what? Sometimes an engineer can be an excellent salesperson. We are helping them to find the dream job for them. And sometimes some students born with an entrepreneur spirit, they don't want to work for a company, they want to build their own startups. We have special sessions with these talents. We are helping them to transform their ideas into business plans, and we are support them to build their own startups. And maybe we failed recruiting these talents, but today they are working for Asselsan projects through their startups because we are outsourcing some of our projects. And our third program, it's academic sponsorship. As I said, sometimes in 3 billion people, we cannot find one. This is a good example. Underwater acoustics was a very critical technology for Asselsan and also for our country. Let me give you some of the examples that this technology is used. It's used in oil industry, marine life observation, using sounds to find the whales. And in defense industry, we are using it, tracking the torpedoes and submarines. So it was very important for our national defense. And because we did not have this technology, we had to acquire all equipment from United States or Europe. So we were strictly bounded. Then we decided to create a scholarship program. And this scholarship program had only one condition. When the scholar completed his or her PhD degree on this technology, he or she had to train the students in one of the Turkish universities. And with the help of this program, it's completed successfully. This technology, underwater acoustics, became a nationalized project, a nationalized technology, and now it's a selective course in the engineering faculties in universities. So now we started to create our own know-how, and we started to train our partners, even if they know how to dance or not. So because it became a nationalized technology, now today I can proudly say that over $100 million stayed within the boundaries of my beautiful country. I'm leading the dance. Now we want to be the leader, and we need the followers to increase our number of followers. We show a strong presence in social media. With the help of LinkedIn company page, we started to publish news about Asselsan. And we organized some workshops or brain quests, which we targeted the engineering students. They were really interested in this. They tried to answer our challenging questions. This helped increasing our followers. And we show presence on campus. As I said, they want to get in contact with us, not only through social media. We organized spatial rooms. We connected and talked with them, with our alumni. And as Charles mentioned, there are influencers of these talents, which are teachers, parents, and what was the alumni. So, and we focused on the parents and the moms. I want to share one of our design. When we did, it was this year, we designed this for the Mom Day, and we sent moms the message that we have taken mothers as a model in all areas and succeeded all together. You know, we shared this on social media. Our friends started to share, and friends of friends shared this, and this picture became viral in Turkey. And you know what? We received very valuable feedback related to this one during the interviews, because the moms of our candidates sent us messages and say thank you. And now moms are on board now, and I want to share our results with you. It was a great progress, but I know and I believe it's just the beginning. and we reduced our turnover rate by 67%. And we have today over 90,000 talents in applicant tracking system. It means we are not trying to find the talent anymore. They come and find us. And our cost per hire is reduced by 69%. We have reduced the time to fill position by 62%. Please just remember it was 85 days, now it's 32 days. And we have increased our LinkedIn followers by 1,344%. And at this point, I want to introduce two people who are very important for me. It's Genjo and also, would you please stand up? I want to introduce them to you. Also is our talent acquisition manager. She believed in my dreams. And Genjo was our LinkedIn relationship manager. He helped us to create the dream job for us. And I want to thank them with you. Would you please help me to applaud them? Okay. Thank you. And one of the best results, our potential targets choose us as the ideal employer of the year in engineering field. So, some of the takeaways, you see we took 10 points from Craig, which Charles told me that it's very rare. And if you want to understand if you are ready to dance or not, first you have to understand which dance is the right for you. Maybe tango, maybe salsa, and you have to get your own moves. You have to use data and campus engagement to find the right dance partner for you. Campus engagement is very important. And you have to understand what your target talent wants. You have to understand their expectations, and you have to maybe reorganize everything in your company. And if you want to be a leader, you have to be much more active on social media and get them following and dance together. And before taking questions related to our presentation, I want to share something with you. I came to London on Monday. It was a very special day for Turkey because it was the death anniversary of founder of the Turkish Republic, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. He was a great soldier. And I realized that this week is also important for United Kingdom. I learned that it's the Veterans Day, and I'm honoring your soldiers with you. And thank you for listening to me. And if you have questions, I'll be glad to answer. Okay, thank you.
We've deliberately spoke really long, so there's only 1 minute left. So you can't ask us any difficult questions, but we will be sticking around for the rest of the day. So we apologize for that. I hope it was useful. I hope you understand the platform of what LinkedIn is doing to engage students and provide an amazing talent pool for you to engage with, but also that it's very much about a partnership. You know, LinkedIn providing a platform, but partnering as an employer with the universities and with the faculties, using data and conveying your brand and the opportunities, and listening to what those students really are looking for. So we've also put the guide, the playbook, for you all to have there. It's also downloadable, so a lot of us are allergic to paper, then you can download that off the internet as well. And it conveys a lot of the similar messages that we've had today, just without the dancing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.